Hey everybody, Lisa Scott here, and welcome to my channel, Permission to Live in the End. And today I wanted to stop by, share a story, share an experience as related to what I'm going to say. And I don't know if this is the exact title or what the title is going to be, but it has to do with the fact that you do not need to be what's called happy in order to be able to manifest your desired outcomes. And I know that that sounds counter intuitive, counter to the ability to be able to manifest, but stick around and you are going to understand exactly what I'm talking about, as well as I always want you to not just believe what I'm saying, but pay attention to your own reality, pay attention to what's been happening, and test the mess out of what I'm about to share with you. So, I was reading a Neville Goddard lecture called A Movement of Mind. This was 1969, and I came across this one. Of course, the whole thing was wonderful, but I just want to share this particular passage with you, and let's talk about it. And I want to get your thoughts, your comments, and your experiences as related to what the topic is that I am sharing. So, it says, the great poet Shelley saw it so clearly when he said, he has awakened from the dream of life. 'Tis we who, lost in stormy visions, keep with phantoms and unprofitable strife. That's what the world is doing, fighting self-created phantoms. The world is yourself pushed out, and you are in conflict with yourself until that day when an unearthly wind possesses you and you awaken your skull with a consuming desire to get out. So, a couple of areas I wanted to zoom in on. One is "'Tis we who, lost in stormy visions." What does that mean? Lost in stormy visions, keep with phantoms and unprofitable strife. Well, stormy visions and phantoms, that is memories that we are holding on to, because a phantom is something that is a shadow. So that would be something that has happened in the past, a memory of something that keeps playing itself over and over again, that we are not paying attention to, that happened. It happened the day that it happened or the time that it happened, but it's no longer happening. So it is a phantom and a shadow of what did happen, but is no longer happening, right? So, but what I'm noticing in my experiences with people that are in the manifesting community, or consider themselves to be conscious manifestors, is people will fight to hold on to their memories. They will fight to hold on to something that is no longer serving or doing them harm. And what Neville is saying here is that the world is yourself pushed out, and you are in conflict with yourself, in conflict, in those inner conversations, in those inner thoughts that are happening day in and day out, that are causing you to not be able to move from where you are to where you desire to be, because you are in conflict with yourself. So what I think starts to happen when people hear this type of information is you automatically want to jump. And I have, trust me, I have in the past. You automatically want to jump from what is perceived as negative or bad, or, just negative or bad. And you automatically want to jump over to what you're deciding is the extreme opposite of that. But this is not what Neville is saying. He's not saying to delude yourself. He's not saying to act as if nothing is wrong with you, act as if nothing has ever occurred or is not bothering you right now. He's not telling you to do that, but he is telling you to address, to pay attention because these things are not profitable. And the part where I said you don't need to be happy to be able to manifest, I want to share a personal story that I have shared here on this channel before, but in this context, you'll understand, what I'm talking about. So I was working in the medical records department, years ago. And at that time, I had already done every job there was to do in that department. I was bored out of my mind. I was no longer being challenged. And I was not happy about it. Okay, I was not happy. But would it have profited me to remain just not being happy about what was going on? And holding on to all of the experiences of having worked in the medical records department for all those years, would it have profited me to remain with that state? Or was it profitable for me to pay attention to the fact that I didn't desire what was happening and to decide, make another decision, and to impress upon my subconscious mind, because this is what ended up happening, to impress upon my subconscious mind what I wanted to happen next. And this is pre-Neville, guys. This is pre-Neville, pre-understanding about any concept of manifesting or anything like that. So I was feeling what I was feeling, not happy about it, and realized, so instead of not being happy about this, I am going to determine what I want to happen next. Now, the only thing that I did know was that I wanted to leave. And I would imagine myself walking with a box in hand, with a box, packed box in hand, walking out of the door of the medical records department. It was so clear that this is what was going to happen. That's it. It was clear that this is what was going to happen. So the next thing you know, or as time or as the bridge of incidents would have it, the director of the education department was seeking me out in the hospital because I had been a part of a 3M video that was teaching about process improvement. I was on a video, it turns out, that she was showing on a monthly basis to all of the disciplines of the hospital because the hospital had to learn something called process improvement. So she began to seek me out. I didn't know this. So at the time I was imagining packing my box and walking out the door. At some point, there's another video that I talk about where I say that Neville shares that if billions of people have to play their role in this earth in order to help you to fulfill what you said you wanted, then billions of people will rearrange themselves in order to, even whether they're consciously aware or not, in order to assist you to fulfill your desired outcome. So this is why I shared that right at the time, which I did not know, that she was seeking me out. The director of education was seeking me out. I was at some point had already put into imagination the fact that I was packing a box and walking out of the door of the medical records department. But this had nothing to do with me being happy. What this had to do with was my ability to impress upon the subconscious mind what the next step was going to be for me in order to be able to move from where I was at that moment in time to where I desired to be. So I didn't even know all the other details of what was going to happen next. But also what I will say about that is that what is also creating are the assumptions that we have about ourselves. So because, you'll see in other videos, if you want to go back and look, I have talked about being a teacher, assuming I'm a teacher, and having being in the state of being a teacher since I was 12 years old. So that assumption, which was also creating at the same time, caused the director of education to not only seek me out and come and try to recruit me from the medical records department. But I became an educator of 2,500 employees at that time of all disciplines, doctors, nurses, whatever disciplines work in the hospital. I was their process improvement educator, their teacher, without having the normally required bachelor's degree. So I am sharing this to be helpful, to help you so that you can associate what I'm saying. Stop and pay attention to your reality. Is it true? Ask yourself the question, is it true that I am efforting at trying to be happy, even though there are things that are bothering me on the inside that I am not, that I'm at war with on the inside, yet I'm efforting to try to be happy in order to try to manifest something? And is it working? Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions, because what I'm telling you is that no sooner than you turn around and face the very things that are bothering you with regard to whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And I'm not talking about no long drawn out process. I'm talking about no sooner than you identify a belief system, you can also assign an affirmative belief as if that affirmative belief has already occurred. I'm trying to think of an example. So, how about nothing ever works out for me? That could be a belief system that you have that's causing, on a subconscious level, your ability to not be able to manifest something. So, nothing ever works out for me. Right? That could be a belief that you have. You want to put that in the affirmative as related to whatever it is you're desiring, you have a desire for. So let's say your desire is a brand new home. So you're putting in the affirmative, oh man, that you're already in the house, that you're already in the house, that everything works out for me, that everything that I wants me. And I'm sorry, my mind is not allowing me right now to come up with some really good examples, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. So if you're trying to manifest something, yet you're thinking on a subconscious level, nothing ever works out, well, that would be the stormy vision and the phantom that is not profiting you. That is the strife that is happening on the inside that is not allowing you to be able to manifest as you desire to manifest. So I just wanted to stop by, share that story, and I always go back to ending the video with a quote if I have shared a quote in that video. So I'm going to read this one more time. This is from Neville Goddard's 1969, A Movement of Mind, where he says, the great poet Shelley saw it so clearly when he said, he has awakened from the dream of life. 'Tis we who, lost in stormy visions, keep with phantoms and unprofitable strife. That's what the world is doing, fighting self-created phantoms. The world is yourself pushed out, and you are in conflict with yourself until that day when an unearthly wind possesses you and you awake in your skull with the consuming desire to get out. Thanks for stopping by and watching this video. Click the like button, click subscribe, click the notification button to see when or hear when another video comes up that I share. Click that like, click the subscribe, which does something to the algorithms to allow other people who would not otherwise have seen this video to be able to do so. And I will see you on the next video, and I look forward to your comments and experiences.